Yes, there are Jews in Dallas. Yes, there are Jews in Texas. But yes, I've had my fair share of run-ins with other religions that didn't like me. When I was a kid, there was this girl that I was friends with. She was like real Southern Baptist. She goes, "You're gonna go to hell if you don't believe in Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior." And my response was, "I have naked pictures of your mother." So her mom was on the phone with my mom like ASAP. And no one was really right in that situation. It's like, you kind of provoked me. Don't poke a sleeping lion. What I'm doing is I'm pointing these things out, because I make mistakes too. But as a comedian, it's your job to point out the garbage in the world. And I happen to live in a city that is replete with garbage. So it's always around me. I'm a happy person. Do I think that I helped the Muslim-Jewish conflict? I think I helped in bringing together the 8 comics. I was a part of that. We brought together 4 Muslims and 4 Jews tonight, so it's something. But we kind of got along in the first place. At least, not behind closed doors.
How you guys doing? Nice. I was really excited about doing this, and the producers told me, they're like, get up there and talk about Israel and what it means to you and your experience there. So here goes. When I was 16, I went to Israel. And I haven't thought much about it since. I kind of don't care. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm Jewish. No, I'm not Israeli. Yes, I love Israel. Yes, I'm proud to be Jewish. Yes, I had a bat mitzvah, but I'm from Texas, and we got a whole other set of problems, okay? We've got things to worry about like football and working out and hiding from Baptists. It's kind of not, it's not really on our agenda. The closest I've been to Israel in the past 10 years is when I went out drinking last Christmas Eve and a bunch of like greasy Israeli guys were like bumping up against me to techno music. "Oh, you are so beautiful, I give you a good price." What? It don't make any sense. I don't want any part of that. The thing that's weird to me is that Muslims and Jews were so similar. We're so similar and we can't get along. We both read from the Old Testament. We both don't eat pork. Jewish women cover their hair. Muslim women are covered in hair. So many similarities. The fact that we can't get along, we fight over everything. Jews and Muslims, we're like the Betty and Veronica of the Middle East. We're both good-looking people, and we've been fighting over the same object of affection for the last 60 years. It's Israel. Most of you are Mexican. You probably couldn't care. I get it. The fact is this. Throughout history, there has only been one group of people that have consistently been met with adversity and pain. And every time they're met with a challenge, they've not only overcome these obstacles, but they've thrived and succeeded beyond anything we could ever imagine. And that group is the handicapped. You've never met an unmotivated handicapped person. Think about it. You see a dude in a wheelchair, paralyzed from the waist down, ask him what he did that day. "Well, I got up at 5 and I wheeled about 50 miles because I'm training for a triathlon, and then I played basketball. I'm captain of the Special Olympic basketball team, and then I had a date in court because I'm a lawyer. I own my own law firm. What did you do?" "Got out of bed. Unassisted, thank you very much." There are certain rules that we live by in our society, and I just feel that if we were to change these rules, perhaps humankind would just be better off. There's certain rules that we've just accepted from day one. Okay, the first rule is this. I was getting dressed the other day, hold your applause, and I asked my friend, "What do you think of this outfit?" And her response was,
"Why do you care what people think?"
And you've been taught to believe that. Be an individual, do what you want, don't care what people think. My response, I'm sorry, why don't you care what people think? It's the most important thing in the world. If people don't like you, you don't get jobs and party invitations and Facebook requests. It's the most important. I would pick these 3 people right here liking me over free health insurance in a heartbeat. What's the point of living a long time if people think you're an asshole? No point. You know what happened the last time a group of people said, "Fuck it, we don't care what you think"? They got hung as witches. Blood's on your hands, Massachusetts. The last one, war is not the answer. I disagree. War absolutely is the answer. And if you don't agree with me, happy 4th of July. People seem to think we won this country in a game of Yahtzee. I'm not saying bomb innocent people. I'm not saying force your beliefs on others, but we're American. We come from fighting. It's what we do. It's what we're good at. It's what we like. That's why it's the fighting Irish of Notre Dame, not the arguing Jews of Brandeis. You're taught this from a kid. You're a cheerleader. You're taught it's go, fight, win, not come, discuss, we'll see. Doesn't work that way. I'm supposed to stand up here and I'm supposed to tell you that you should love each other and not care. But I can't do that because I understand hate and I understand that unmitigated, unbridled sense of rage that you can feel toward a stranger. Because I fly out of LAX at least 4 times a week. So I get it. I was at the airport. I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm a morning person and I'm a people person. But there was a woman, we had the whole airport to stand. She was like right here. And I don't know if it's because I was wearing Britney Spears perfume. She wanted to be near some white trash. I don't know what it was. She was just in my junk and it was annoying. And the thing is, I know how crazy I am. I don't know how crazy she is. So I didn't want to say anything to her, but I start to get upset. And the sadistic wheels in my head start turning. And I start thinking about not only how much I hate her, how I want to kill her, how I want to dispose of the body, what horrible parent she must have had that gave this child no idea about spatial relations, what kind of a sleeper hold I could put her in if we ever got into some sort of octagon situation. And the whole thing comes to a screeching halt because she simply looks at me and goes, "Oh, sorry, didn't mean to crowd you," and moves. Now I'm left with a resting heart rate of 1,000 and a sweat mustache. And I realized something. Rage doesn't dissipate. It builds, because it's energy. It can't disappear. It builds, and it builds, and it builds, and it builds, until one day you get a tumor or you flip the fuck out on a toll booth worker. It's one of the two. That's how these things happen, and it's not your fault. It's society's fault. Specifically television, specifically Corn Pops commercials from the early 90s. Remember these commercials? There's a boy, he's sitting there. He's a teenager, because that's when the rage starts. He's eating his Corn Pops. We don't know what's on his mind. Probably thinking about how he's gonna torture the neighborhood squirrel. We don't know. His brother comes in, messing with him. "Hey dude, what's up? Whoop, got your Pops." Something goes off in this kid's head. And you start to hear that psycho inner monologue, right? He's like, "Oh my God, he's got my Pops. Now I'll never have cereal. Now I'll never eat again. I need my cereal now. What if I can't survive? How am I gonna feed this fucking demon that's living in my stomach? I'm gonna kill everyone. I'm gonna bring a fucking gun to school if I don't get my cereal." His brother comes back. He's like, "Never mind, bro. You can have him back." Sweat mustache, gotta have my Pops. Gotta have a sedative. Are you out of your fucking mind? That is cereal. The point is, folks, there's enough cereal to go around, so learn to share with your brother. Thanks for coming out tonight.